Exactly. Back in 2009, the bestseller Slow Death by Rubber Duck, Bruce, Lourie, Rick Smith, they were guinea pigs, literally guinea pigs in their own toxic experiments. They exposed themselves to high levels of everyday toxic chemicals and then tested their levels in their blood and urine. Now in their new book, Toxin Toxout, Bruce and Rick take the next step, telling us all how to get harmful chemicals out of our bodies, out of our houses, out of our life. You guys were guinea pigs. That's brave.
Yeah.
Brave, but you guys did it to prove a point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we, you know, people are unaware of the number of chemicals that are in everything that we use. You know, they're in our sofas and our frying pans and our food and our shampoos. So we did all these experiments in the first book just to show how easily those chemicals end up inside our bodies.
In our bodies. And Rick, in this book you guys talk about organic versus non-organic food as kind of a first easy step to kind of get down the right road.
Yeah. So we were actually unsure how that experiment would turn out. We took 9 kids.
Sure.
They were fed non-organic food for a few days, organic food for a few days. When they ate the organic food, levels of cancer-causing pesticides in their bodies came down by 2/3.
And right away.
Right away. So not just a measurable decrease, but actually a very rapid decrease within hours.
Wow.
And that really caught us by surprise because organic food, the growing of it is obviously better for the environment. I mean, you're using less pesticides out there in the world, but we were actually surprised at how dramatic the measurable benefit is for the average consumer.
Okay, so I mean that hits one kind of niche for consumers, the organic versus non-organic argument. What about when it comes to things like, Bruce, like cosmetics and things like that? I mean, in television I wear makeup every day, women wear makeup every day. It's pretty nasty.
It is, and again, there's all kinds of chemicals in cosmetics and makeup. The great news is there are brands now, like really good brands. In fact, we talked to a makeup artist the other day, and in the book we do experiments showing how the chemicals in the cosmetics get into your body through your skin. But there are all kinds of alternatives that even the makeup industry is telling us are effective from a makeup perspective. And so people need to be aware of what they're buying and look for the greener alternatives that are out there. They're going to be a lot healthier in the long run.
Yeah, no kidding. Rick, are there 3 things? I mean, we talked about organic versus non-organic. We just talked about makeup. Are there a couple of other things that you would recommend people do like right away?
Well, especially this time of year in Calgary or across the country, a lot of us spend most of our lives indoors.
Sure.
Well over 90% of our lives indoors. And so we look at indoor air quality in the book. So it's not only what you eat, it's not only what you absorb through your skin, it's also what you breathe that brings these chemicals into your body. And it turns out, and we have some tips in the book, being a bit more careful of the brands you buy to reduce the off-gassing in your house.
Off-gassing, okay.
Can have a big effect. We had some crazy experiments in the book where we breathed in some of this off-gassing from the new car smell, for instance.
Okay.
And showed the significant increase of chemicals in the body that results.
Just from the odors. And I would imagine perfumes are along the same road, right?
It's a perfect example. So perfumes, you can, you're smelling the scent, but there's all kinds of chemicals in the perfume that help enhance that scent and get it out, onto your body. We also talk in the book about what are the things you can do to get these things out of your body. So avoiding is the first strategy, right? So avoid pesticides, avoid the
And that's the whole
cosmetics.
organic versus non-organic foods,
And then, no matter what we do, these chemicals are everywhere. We can't avoid them all. So what do you do once they're in your body and you try to get them out? And it turns out, we've described a bunch of things in the book, but some of them very basic, like drink a lot of water. You know, that helps.
Like it literally flushes.
Literally, it flushes your system. Your body's a great, like a sponge. It's a great, it's a really amazing biological mechanism that has its own detox functions, but you got to help those detox functions. So drinking water, more exercise. I mean, the stuff that any doctor's going to tell you: eat fresh fruits and vegetables, less meat.
Doctors know what they're talking about.
The doctors know what they're talking about, and the detox doctors these days know what they're talking about. There's a whole group of detox doctors out there now that are working on this issue. So we were quite encouraged that there are actually things you can do to avoid the chemicals, and there's things you can do to help get them out of your body.
It sounds like, Rick, it's a lifestyle change, right? I mean, to kind of get out of it, you got to get out of the bad habits and start some new ones.
Well, it's the new year, and we're all trying to recover from the excesses of the holidays, right? So it's a good time of year to make these resolutions. And yeah, I mean, you can't kind of eat and drink to excess 11 and a half months of the year and then go on a broccoli juice cleanse for a week and think everything's going to be hunky-dory. I mean, just like fitness, reducing these chemicals in your body and your family's bodies is doable, as we show in the book, totally achievable, practical. but it has to be part of a lifestyle.
Yeah.
There you go. Lots of good advice. Toxin Toxout. Bruce, Lourie, Rick Smith, the two guests on the show this morning. An interesting read and a nice follow to your original book, which kind of scared the heck out of all of us, that's for sure.